So for this video, I was going to read part of and discuss the section titled Warning Against the Invitation of Sinful Men. Now, the part here that kind of got my interest was starting in verse 11, where it says, "If they say, 'Come along with us, let's lie in wait for innocent blood, let's ambush some harmless soul.'" I don't think anyone would actually say that, but I'm also someone who really tries to be ethical and honest. So maybe there are people who talk this way. Verse 12, "Let's swallow them alive like the grave and whole like those who go down to the pit." So just in the notes, in the study notes, verse 12 says, "Swallow like the grave, vivid poetic imagery for shamelessly victimizing others." And I guess I have to appreciate that there are people who do that, and they do it shamelessly. And I mean, I started off reading this thinking, who talks like that? Nobody talks like that. Nobody thinks like that. Let's lie in wait for innocent blood. Like, come on, like that. Who does that? But there may be people who do, if not in an unconscious way, or it would be unconscious, not something they would necessarily do intentionally or really notice. Then, verse 18 says, "These men lie in wait for their own blood, they ambush only themselves." And I think that probably has to do with they ambush themselves in this life because I guess they're the kinds of people who would lie. And if you lie or, steal, then you're kind of always looking over your shoulder, waiting for someone to catch you doing it. And in the next life, obviously, they won't have a very nice end. But outside of that, verse 8, "Listen, my son, to your father's instruction. Do not forsake your mother's teaching." It's for both parents. It talks about both parents. And it describes the teachings in verse 9 as being a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. So the imagery is decorative and it implies, I guess, a certain amount of status. And the garland is maybe like a bit of a crown, and the crown of life. We hear about that in other parts of scripture. And it starts off that way and then carries on into verse 10, "My son, if sinful men entice you, do not give in to them." So it is telling them, do not give in, as if they do actually have the power to choose, which we do. We do have the power when we're being enticed to overcome it and to refuse and hopefully put up safeguards after that and make sure that we don't slip again or try not to get tempted again if that was the case in the first place. And I think tomorrow is wisdom's rebuke.